Hello everybody, this is Lee from the blog littlebylittlehome.com, and today, as we get close to the end of the year, we're going to do a countdown. It's always fun to look back at the end of the year to see the progress that we've made and all that we've accomplished and what has gone on during that year, and with blogging it's no different. So today we're going to look back at the top 10 blog posts of 2020 for the littlebylittlehome.com. Now, I am new here to YouTube, but I have been blogging for a few years, so today I'm excited to share with you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the top 10 blog posts, and in the description below, instead of telling you every single time, I'm just going to list every single blog post so that if one of them you're like, oh, I'd like to take a look at that, you can go ahead and scroll down to the description below and find that blog post to get more information. So without further ado, let's get started. Coming in at number 10 is my homemade laundry detergent recipe. Now, I've been making my own homemade laundry detergent for many years. I've tried a few different recipes, settled on one, and I've been using it for a while. And I happened to mention on social media about it, and apparently there was enough people that were interested in it that reached out to me and asked me to put together a blog post. So I did that, and that came in at number 10. I included a free printable so you can print it out and you can keep it in your laundry room, whether you want to hang it up or just stuff it into a basket with all your supplies. I actually make this laundry detergent quite often because there's 5 of us that are always doing laundry, and it has worked great. Clothing, sheets, towels, all that kind of stuff. Number 9 goes back to the beginning of the year. In January, I participated in a $100 room challenge. So basically what that means is you have a $100 budget and you have to make over the space using that $100 budget. I didn't necessarily do a room, but what I did remake over was our main entryway. So I had already done the entry when you first walk in, but the hallway there that then leads up to the stairs, up to our second floor, I hadn't done anything with that. And by doing this, it really tied in the entire house. The first thing was the paint, and there was a huge difference that was made in that. So that was that's always fun to be able to share a budget makeover and how this pretty much transformed our entire home because it's the center of our home and everybody who comes in sees this space. Number 8 was when I shared our homeschool curriculum. I think that people, whether you homeschool or not, are really interested in what do you do as far as educating middle school and high school. So I have 1 middle schooler and 2 high schoolers. So I think there's been a lot of interest also in homeschooling, and people are just interested in what do you do as they get to be older. It's not necessarily more difficult, it's just different, but it's a lot of fun to homeschool middle school and high school kids. Number 7 was when I replaced an ugly, cut up, gross looking brown rug with a vintage looking rug in our front entryway. Now, the pattern that I ended up using is the same pattern that I have in our laundry room. I loved it so much, then realized that that same pattern came in a square size rug that would fit perfectly in our front entryway. And it's been a lot of fun to add that to the space, to add a little bit of color, and I just love it there. Number 6 is a non-coconut oil toothpaste recipe. I've been making our own toothpaste for about 10 years and we love it. However, not everybody wants to use coconut oil because coconut oil is a liquid when it's warm and solidifies as it gets cold. So people are concerned about spitting that into their sinks, rightly so, and not everybody wants to spit the coconut oil into their garbage. So I came up with a recipe that replaced the coconut oil and it works just as great. Number 5 was when I painted our staircase that leads to our home office and my daughter's bedroom. Now, this staircase was absolutely disgusting. The wood on the staircase was not worth sanding down and refinishing and staining. The solution was to paint it. By adding a color to that space, it really just kind of makes it pop and it just makes it fun. Number 4 is that home office that I mentioned. We completely renovated the space, gutted it, added everything that it would need to, redid the floors, the sheetrock, everything. And so this year it was completed. It was really nice to be able to move him into a space where he could do his work, and he's been working from home for about 5 years. So that was a huge project, and I was so excited to be able to share that completely done this year. Number 3 post was about our Berkey water system. Now, we moved into our home, it's been 2 years. One of the things I wanted to add was a water system, but we didn't have the budget in order to add a full house water system. So the solution was to add a Berkey water system where we filter our water that we are drinking and that we are cooking with. Now, in that blog post, I shared the story behind it, getting it, setting it up, and what we thought about the Berkey water when we first drank it. I answered all kinds of questions that hopefully were helpful for many people that have been considering adding a Berkey water system to their house. The number 2 most popular blog post was when I painted our vintage upright piano. Now, I had enjoyed the natural patina when we had added it to the home, but once we painted our living room, it just stuck out like a sore thumb, and I just thought it'd be fun to add some color to it. Well, here we are, number 1 blog post for Little by Little Home in 2020, and that was when I spent winter break painting our living room. I'm actually in the room right now. So before, it was a tan. Not a bad color, it was absolutely fine. However, I didn't realize until I painted it this color, which is Bear Swiss Coffee, how light and bright and clean and fresh the room could feel. So I was a little surprised by this one being the number 1 blog post. I mean, I absolutely love it. I loved all the blog posts. I'm a little biased. However, I just was surprised that this came out as the most viewed post for my readers. So it just goes to show you that just by simply painting a room, you can completely transform it. I didn't do anything else in our living room in that blog post, and it ended up being a really popular one. Well, there you have it, the top 10 posts for the Little by Little Home in 2020. It's been a great year as far as projects go. We made a lot of changes in our home, and it's been fun to share big projects like painting a living room, to $100 room challenges, to recipes, whether it's from the laundry room or the kitchen. It's been a really great year, and I appreciate you popping in here to my YouTube channel. I know I'm brand new. I thank you for the grace that you've given me. I'm really looking forward to the growth in this space, getting to know you all. If you're interested in any more information, I've linked all of those blog posts in the description below. Happy New Year!